The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Right you are.
ESPN Asheville, Tank Spencer, and Jeremy Greene with you. You are in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you can join the House of Reprehensibles, where it is decided. We have this very cool new gavel that our wonderful listener Clay sent us.
It's the first producer ever of this show, Classic Clay.
That's right. Classic Clay sent us, and it's personalized. The Sportsocracy House of Reprehensibles in gold all around it. You can see it on the YouTube stream right now, and it's it's official. It's official.
It's pretty sweet. I'm going to be honest with you. We've gotten some cool gifts over the time of doing this. That's one of the coolest ones.
It is. So thank you, Clay, for that.
This morning.
And yeah, sure, we will accept. We will accept your gift.
Oh, totally.
Shameless plug here.
And I'm not gonna lie, it gave me an excuse to make a Creed opener.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I made a TikTok video. A court is in session.
And he was making it when I got in here this morning, and it just kept playing over and over. And I went, "Wait a minute. Is your computer broken, or is this a new type of torture? You're just giving."
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I was doing it to annoy you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I mean, I felt like
Plus, I
felt
really
like
liked the open to that song.
I felt like that open of or that episode of the Drew Carey Show where they were all inside Drew's house and they kept playing Panama by Van Halen outside.
Well, look, I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Creed is one of the most underrated bands of my lifetime. In the happy hour today, we will discuss the most overrated bands of all time.
And y'all are going to want to tune in for this because we're going to fight.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to make a 16-team bracket of the most overrated bands. Because I'm not going to lie, once we threw this question out, I realized there are way, way more than I thought. Somebody said the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I went, I hadn't even thought of that, and you are so right.
True. Very true. So we'll do overrated
Somebody just yelled
bands.
at the radio when I said that. That won't be the one that I say that annoys you the most.
No, it won't be. By a long shot.
I thought Sports Freak Brian Hall was ready to fight me.
He was. He was ready to fight you. So we will have a Musicocracy Monday in the web-only hour, the third happy hour of the program. Only available online on YouTube, thesportsocracy.com. The Kansas City Chiefs folded like a cheap lawn chair yesterday in the second half against the Cincinnati Bengals, 27-24. Again, Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. Still feels weird to say, but it's true. But it's weirder to say that Patrick Mahomes failed. I mean, we're just not used to that. We were all shocked by the Super Bowl last year. I'm a Tampa Bay fan here, and I was as shocked as anybody that that Tampa was able to shut them down offensively the way that they were in that 31-9 loss.
Here's the thing I can't wrap my head around.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this so shocking to people? I cannot for the life of me figure this out.
It's because you didn't think Cincinnati could do it. You didn't think that they had the horses on defense to be able to take Tyreek Hill out of the game, to take Travis Kelce out of the game.
But that's not what I asked. What I asked is, why is it so shocking that Pat Mahomes had a bad half? There's this narrative that he's just infallible.
Right.
No, he's not. I've heard Dan Patrick, he did a loop on Jordan. People have this thought that Michael Jordan played for 6 years and he never missed a game winner.
Right.
It's not true. It's flat out, patently false.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked it didn't happen before now. And it raises a question with me for Patrick Mahomes. He has some really bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, categorically terrible habits.
Mm-hmm.
And I could make the argument that his success has played into them. Look, I've been doing the draft this is now my 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
I never said the term arm angle before Pat Mahomes. Ever. I never said it one time. I'd never even heard it before. And there's a reason for that, because it's incredibly hard to be accurate that way. I've never seen a quarterback that could just turn their back to the line of scrimmage and bail out and slip away. If you keep tempting fate like that, eventually somebody's going to get you. I said that on this show last week. I did not think it would be the Cincinnati Bengals. I thought it would be the LA Rams. Aaron Donald comes up the middle. He does that spin around and just gets lit up. Well, it did happen, and it happened with Trey Hendrickson. And I'm telling you right now, he was not the same after that. I think it was in the late third quarter, maybe the beginning of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
He does the spin around thing, and he turned the wrong direction, and there was Trey Hendrickson to knock his block off. This shouldn't be that surprising. I think Tom Brady broke our brains. He was in the AFC Championship game, the Super Bowl, so many years in a row that you just don't think these people can lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. And it's going to happen a lot. And now that he is going to get exponentially more expensive, I hate to break this to Kansas City Chiefs fans, the best team you will ever see him have is now past present.
It was last year's?
Oh, it's not going to be when he's making $50 million on a $200-something million salary cap.
Right.
That's not how this is going to work. But, I mean, if you're really honest with yourself about Kansas City, they can't run to save their lives. Okay, they had a couple good games. One against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that looked like it was on its last limbs. But at the end of the day, you're counting on Jerick McKinnon. You can't miss on draft picks like Clyde Edwards-Helaire and not assume that it's eventually going to catch you.
Right.
I think they hit on Nick Bolton. The team's still in great shape. But you got to know this is about to get exponentially more difficult for you. That Bills team is good, and they're going to be good for a long time.
Yep.
This Cincinnati Bengal team, they're 2 years behind you, 3 years behind you, actually, with the option year, and they're in the Super Bowl right now. I haven't even mentioned New England, Tennessee, Baltimore.
L.A.
That was the one I was sitting there going, I don't want to say that one. I don't want that to, but it counts.
Of course.
And you have to understand that there's going to have to be an evolution of Pat Mahomes. I know he's been otherworldly. He has done things that do not make a whole lot of sense. And he's gotten by with it for a ridiculously long time. Well, yesterday he didn't. All of those things came to roost at one time.
Yep. I mean, I would say of course, they all culminated in yesterday's loss. But we saw shades of it in the early going of the season when he was having all of his problems. He was throwing all the interceptions. We talked about it, of what defenses are doing to figure him out. And then they made the return, and they won a whole bunch of games in a row, and they climbed back to the top of the AFC, and we went, okay, everything's fine. But then yesterday, it was right back to what we were seeing earlier in the season. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 interceptions in the second half. They're not bringing as much pressure. I mean, I get that Patrick Mahomes made a whole lot of bad decisions, held on to the ball too long, turning his back to the offensive line, all that kind of stuff. But that offensive line wasn't good either. I mean, they were sending 3 with pressure with a spy, and then they were dropping everybody else back, and it just took so long for the plays to develop that by the time he found somebody, or there was anybody to be found most of the time, he was already engulfed in the pressure.
It was a brilliant scheme in the second half by Cincinnati.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie, I think you basically tipped off exactly how to defend Pat Mahomes. All I have to do is collapse the pocket on you because I know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I have 4 years of evidence here of exactly what you're going to do. And it's what they did. Because the one thing I haven't heard anybody say, how many delayed blitzers did Cincinnati send yesterday?
There were a few.
It was a ton. They didn't always get home. But they would send that initial surge. There would be, whether it was a spy, whether it was a linebacker in zone, whatever the case may be.
Corners. They sent corners several times.
Somebody was just sitting there waiting to barrel down on him.
Yep.
And it's a brilliant game plan. And look, I'm not trying to slight Pat Mahomes because that would be a fool's errand. He's been fantastic. He's going to continue to be fantastic. You just need to understand the terms of this game change exponentially next year. Because now your ability to go get a Melvin Ingram, good luck with that. Tyrann Mathieu, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You have one player that's going to account for 25% of your salary cap. So you better keep drafting guys like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and they were tremendous. They had one of the best draft classes in the league this year.
You got to be in that market.
Have to.
You got to be in that market like Tampa Bay was. You got to be in the market of trying to find guys who want to win now and are going to come sign for cheap.
And you're losing a lot of guys in your front office. This is the one way that I've always said the NFL has a competitive balance that is second to none. Because good teams get picked apart in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Coordinators, front office guys, scouts, they all get elevated because they want the secret sauce that you have. Kansas City just lost a front office guy that took a GM job, had another one interview. I'm not in any way sitting here telling you that this is the end of the Kansas City Chiefs. I've heard some of that, and that's absolutely insane. But, I mean, you do have to look at the fact Andy Reid's getting older. Andy Reid's getting older. The front office is getting picked on. The coaching staff has been picked apart a few times.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get harder. And Andy Reid had a history of doing this well before he ever came to Kansas City. Andy Reid, before Pat Mahomes, was considered the guy that could never win the big game.
Yep.
And I feel like people forget that, and I don't know why.
Well, we forgot it because it's recency bias.
But it's recency. Okay, so be real honest about recency bias. You had been here before you lost to a Bengals team yesterday that hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
Year before, demolished in the Super Bowl.
Right.
We're down by $1 billion the year before in the AFC Championship game. You just had Mahomes bring you back.
Right.
Year before that, you lose in the AFC Championship
Mm-hmm.
game. Am I the only one starting to think that the Super Bowl was the aberration for Andy Reid? Not all of the other things?
Well, I mean, it obviously appears to be that way. But I think we were all just hoping. We were all just hoping that this was how it goes now.
We have our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
Rob Johnson, can we talk about the decision to not kick the field goal before half? The Chiefs
please.
are way too cocky. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It is one thing, and this is going to be a slightly strange comparison. The NFL is a lot like teenagers. Teenagers do things, and when they get by with it, they'll start doing more things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you let them get by with things for just day after week after month, by the end of it, you got a kid making less than ideal decisions here. And I started seeing a lot of that in Kansas City. That's why I thought they were going to lose to Buffalo. Because I thought Buffalo was hungrier, and eventually your luck's just going to run out. I think Kansas City's going to have to take a long, introspective look at themselves and just go, we're still a heavyweight for sure.
Yeah.
But we're not Mike Tyson anymore.
No, we're not head and shoulders above everybody
This is not
else.
we just kill everybody we get in the ring with. Now there's a whole crop of young teams that are in better financial shape than you.
I don't understand. I wish I could have gotten into the mind of Andy Reid to figure out what he was thinking. At the end of the half,
he trusts Pat Mahomes. I can tell you exactly.
I understand that, but you have to put points on the board there. You can't take the risk.
But that's not what he's thinking about. You got to understand, they're up by a ton. 11.
Yeah. 21.
But I have Pat Mahomes and I get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume he's going to score. At that time, I think, had they punted one time?
Mm-hmm.
I think they punted one time. So I get the ball back. I'm not overly worried about it. But I know this can be a kill shot. And I trust Pat Mahomes to such a point that I just know he's going to do it. As soon as the pass interference happened in the end zone, they got the ball in the 1 yard line. What was your first thought?
Oh, they're going to score.
They're going to score right here.
Yeah. But guess what? They didn't. They didn't get it in, and it was bad management at the end of the game.
And this is just
like
half. Every heavyweight fighter you can ever imagine. They were scared of nothing until they were. And as soon as they were, the decline tended to be rather precipitous. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to Kansas City.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
During yesterday's game, as it's apropos that we were talking about that last